Hello and welcome to NAFDAC and Your Health, where we bring you all the important information you need to know about NAFDAC, the agency saddled with the responsibility of safeguarding our health by ensuring that the foods, drugs, cosmetics, and medical equipment made available to us are safe and wholesome. My name is Tosin Adebayo.
To ensure that all regulated products meet standards of safety and wholesomeness, officers of the agency routinely inspect production to enforce and apprehend defaulters.
The strength of a regulatory agency also lies in the enforcement. In fact, if there is no enforcement, there will not be a regulatory agency, because a regulatory agency is supposed to enforce or to control, of course, the regulatory activities, and to enforce, to ensure that people do not violate the regulations. Therefore, enforcement is extremely important in NAFDAC. People may not understand what NAFDAC is in terms of enforcement, but we are also policemen, looking out for violators to ensure there will be deterrent. They will not repeat whatever they did before. The enforcement can be as simple as somebody resisting NAFDAC to enter their property, and then enforcement will come in with police to ensure that whatever NAFDAC wanted to see, NAFDAC sees. It can be a raid where they have to go to the market or to a particular site where falsified medicines are being made or sold or whatever, or unwholesome food. It can be sealing a company, paying unannounced visit to a company. It is an activity that takes place almost every minute, depending on where informants or the information is coming from. If products are deemed to have been violated, either they are unregistered or they are expired and are being sold, things like that, NAFDAC has the power to seize, to seal the site. NAFDAC has the power to arrest if there is resistance, or to prosecute, and those products that are seized are stored until a time when we can then go and destroy them.
The agency raided water production sites around the country that have been suspected to be producing water for public consumption with poor manufacturing practice. This enforcement activity was carried out by the Food Safety and Applied Nutrition Directorate of the agency across the country.
Oh boy, this is not allowed in a production facility. It's assumed that you are actually doing bottle filling of manual. They said it a long time, this should be removed. It's not supposed to be here. Bam. It's not me. This one now, does it have net? It doesn't have net. Rodents, rats, everything can enter through here. Bam. This one now, you have a room and parlor here. This is a house. Then you now have a tailoring outfit that you're supposed to use for cloakroom. If it's factory, use it strictly for factory. If you want to use it for something else, this is big enough to divide into two. Yes, use half for what you want use for. Demarcate this one and not say that this one is factory.
Beyond enforcement, the agency also commits considerable resources to training, enlightenment, and engagement programs with stakeholders in order to empower them to be able to meet up with globally acceptable standards. On the show today, we will bring you highlights of the recently held workshop and stakeholders engagement training programs. We kick off in Lagos, where NAFDAC held a one-day engagement program with manufacturers in the water sector.
Water is a unique product. It's essential for maintenance of life, good health. For them also, it's a means of livelihood. So they go into this not just, it's supposed to be for them a gainful venture. but there needs to be a balance. So we have decided to call them together today, not only to hear from them and listen to what their concerns are, but also to seize the opportunity as a platform to engage and share knowledge with them, regulatory and technical knowledge, so that they imbibe more of what NAFDAC stands to achieve in terms of regulating and controlling the water sector, to guide them to compliance towards ensuring that they produce each time consistently safe and good quality water for the consuming public.
This stakeholders' engagement is even more imperative because of the lapses found in the industry by NAFDAC.
So in the course of our routine inspections, that is unannounced inspections to water producing establishments, we have found issues of non-compliance, we say lapses, where they have not strictly adhered to good manufacturing practices. And this presents a threat to the consuming public, because when people consume water that is unsafe, water that is contaminated, water that is not of the right quality, it presents a problem. We have illnesses. There's diarrhea, dysentery, cholera. Sadly, some people even lose their lives on account of some of these illnesses. So it comes along with negative health consequences. And so these are some of the things that we are here to share with them today. We're going to also have some technical presentations on good manufacturing practices. We're going to share with them the A to Z of doing a NAFDAC registration process for packaged water products. We're also going to have an opportunity to hear from them. So this is going to be like a balanced engagement. It won't be us talking at them. It will be us engaging with them, speaking to them, and also listening to them, because that is what regulation is all about. Our style of regulation in NAFDAC is we have a listening ear to what the concerns of the regulated sector is, as well as ensure that there is compliance, because at the end of the day, it is all about the consumer. So the guiding principle of what we are here to do today is to ensure that we reiterate the importance of producing safely, consistently, and ensuring that the water that they offer for sale to the public or that they place in the market is safe for consumption. That when people drink this water or use the water, it will not bring harm to them. It will not cause harm. So that's essentially the central message.
In attendance at the program were representatives of Association of Table Water Producers of Nigeria, Water Producers Association of Nigeria, Guild of Water Purifiers and Researchers of Nigeria, including individual players in the water sector.
Each time that NAFDAC call us for any training or workshop or seminar, our people always jump at it and they respond overwhelmingly, because each training we attend in NAFDAC enhances our capacity and capability to comply with NAFDAC standards, thereby reducing some things, sharp practices that have been experienced in industry. And now we hardly see recalled products in our various factories. We hardly see people complaining, either to NAFDAC, it still happens, but the volume has drastically reduced.
Even in life, if you are not constantly being updated about what you do or whatever you believe in, there's a possibility that you might go stale and you don't even know what is happening, what is the current thing, what is the right thing people are doing. You might still be living in the past while the future has even begun, and leaving you behind. So we are, as an association, ATWAP and the entire ATWAP, we are grateful to NAFDAC for this kind of engagement, because it will further enlighten our members. And even apart from that, water is life. It is not what you take with levity. It involves a lot of life. An armed robber can kill one or two. Water producer can actually kill millions, especially women and children that are the most vulnerable. So it is always important to keep having trainings, get up-to-date information, and also it's an awakening that NAFDAC is still very much around for you to do the right thing. So we are most grateful.
NAFDAC, apart from having put in place effective regulatory mechanism to check the activities of fake and unwholesome producers of regulated products, including water, these sort of programs are designed to help associations guilds become more effective in self-regulation, thereby actively joining the fight to safeguard the health of the nation.
A well-structured arrangement. One, they have food safety and applied nutrition, and they also have pharmacovigilance and post-marketing surveillance. So most often, the post-marketing surveillance people do go to the market to find out and see. They purchase most of these products. We analyze to see if they conform. In addition to that, EFSAN, that is food safety and applied nutrition, their officers in the water division go out to inspect such facilities after registration in compliance. And those who are not registered are sanctioned accordingly. Most often, they are referred to Investigation and Enforcement Directorate for further regulatory activities. So we are all out. Our people go out, both in the state and in Lagos State and in other states. They go out to fish out these people who are not registered and are using fictitious registration number. And more often we see them. We have a regulatory framework to reduce the activities of fake producers or quack producers in our industry. We are steering our people towards self-regulation. Because we know ourselves, we know them where they are, and that's why we monitor ourselves. Because if they continue to produce fake products, it will affect all of us. If the water is not good, most of the time they will say the people are not good, and it is the whole lot of us. So we are now working in collaboration with the agency to identify them where they are. Last month, I wrote a letter to the agency mentioning names of factories, their locations, and the areas of defects in their operation, which they sent people when they are confirmed what we reported, and they locked up the places. And since then, there is fear, palpable fear in the minds of all those fake producers. And that is what we are doing. In the past, they operate in isolation, unnoticed, unrecognized. But now, there is no more hiding place for all of them. And that's what is also helping our agency our association to be more pronounced, to be more noticeable, more recognized. We don't witch hunt anybody because we don't have the power to do anything, but we have the power to report to the agency. And each time we report to them, either at the EFSAN here in Oshodi, in Solo, or in enforcement, Mobi Road, they always responded proactively. And that has also enhanced our collaboration with them.
NAFDAC and your health will be right back. Please stay tuned.
The MedSafety app is the latest reporting tool introduced by the National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control in November 2020 as part of the Innovative Medicines Initiative project. The app is made available to the public in collaboration with World Health Organization, Uppsala Monitoring Center, Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, UK, and National Agency for Food, Drugs and Administration and Control, NAFDAC. The MedSafety app allows users to track safety information of medicines, vaccines, and other health products, report adverse drug reaction to a medicine or vaccine, and view data on suspected side effects. When you have received your COVID-19 vaccine, you can use the MedSafety app to report any adverse reaction or side effect you may feel. The app can be used by anybody, irrespective of whether you are a medical practitioner or not. You, your family, and friends, everyone can download and use the Med Safety app to report adverse drug reaction. Just search for Med Safety on Google Play Store for Android and App Store for iOS. When using the app for the first time, the user needs to select his or her region. In this case, Nigeria, and also choose the preferred language of choice. The user will then be taken to the login page where you create an account by providing your email and password, or proceed as a guest. To create an account, you are required to provide the following details: reporter type, example, physician or pharmacist, as well as their name and email address, password with at least 9 characters with one uppercase letter and a number. Read the privacy statement and accept. Once you are logged in, the user is presented with a number of tabs, which includes news, products, and watch lists. Under the Report tab, the user can report a new suspected adverse drug reaction ADR. On opening a new report, the user is prompted to input patient details, which include initials, sex, and date of birth. The user is then required to input details of the suspected medicine. These include suspected medicine name, other drug details such as strength, batch, dosage details. Multiple suspect drugs and concomitant drugs can be added at any time. The report can be saved and completed at a later time. A saved report can be found on pending reports and can be continued by clicking on the report and continuing from where the user stopped. Enter reaction details, reaction date and outcomes. Multiple suspects' reaction can also be added. Also, further details about the report can also be included, such as did the reaction cause prolonged hospitalization, disability, congenital anomaly, or birth defect, life-threatening results in deaths, and so on. Finally, you can also add details of any relevant medical history before submitting the report. The user receives a message on the app confirming submission and an acknowledgement in the mail for submission. Reports can be created and saved without internet connection and be sent whenever internet connection is available. The product tabs show all medicines in the NAFDAC list database. It's easier to navigate to a drug or vaccine of interest, and this data is obtained from the WHO Uppsala Monitoring Center. User can also add products of interest to their watch list to get the latest information on the drugs. All products added to the watch list can be viewed in the watch list tab. The News tab displays drug safety information by NAFDAC. This is usually up to date with drug safety information. Registered users can also edit their profile or change app settings. For more information on the app, please contact the National Pharmacovigilance Center (NPC) at NAFDAC headquarters, plot 2032, Olusegun Obasanjo Way, Wuse Zone 7, Abuja, or call 09290511110 or send email to medsafetyapp@nafdac.gov.ng or pharmacovigilance@nafdac.gov.ng.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, you're watching NAFDAC and Your Health.
The Food Safety and Applied Nutrition Directorate also held another one-day stakeholder engagement with the bakery sector, with the aim of also getting that sector up to speed with current trends, good manufacturing practices, and indeed to get them on the same page with NAFDAC as far as regulation and safeguarding the health of the nation goes.
We're meeting with the Premium Bread Makers Association of Nigeria, as well as other players in the bread subsector who don't have an affiliation with the Premium Bread Makers Association of Nigeria. And the reason for the engagement today is to share regulatory and technical knowledge with them on how to ensure that consistently they produce safe products for the Nigerian public, so that anything they offer for sale or put on the public in the public space in the markets are safe, they're wholesome, and they're of good quality. That when people consume the products, the bread particularly, that it doesn't bring them any harm. We know that bread has become a staple product, a staple food for Nigerians, and there's hardly any household in Nigeria that does not consume bread. And this cuts across the entire divide from the children, the youth, the adults, the elderly. So this is a product that has a very wide reach, and so it's a top priority for the agency and our regulatory work.
The program touched on several issues affecting the sector, including good handling practice, bread registration on the NAPAM's platform, which is NAFDAC's online automated registration portal. The participants were also lectured on other subjects such as NAFDAC's guidelines for bakery establishment. NAFDAC food labeling regulations with respect to bakeries was also clearly laid out for the participants to understand.
I must say that it's a lofty program. We are happy. Our association and our members do not shy away from the government regulatory bodies because we know they will make us better. They will make us improve in our standard of operations as well as in the production of safe and hygienic food. And so I must commend the organizers, which is NAFDAC, for engaging us in a program like this. I am so much happy. PBAN always take it upon itself to self-regulate. We self-regulate by advising members in ensuring that they comply with the standard of all the government regulatory bodies, not just NAFDAC alone, whether it is Standard Organization of Nigeria or it is the Ministry of Health, name it. And so we checkmate our members. And in fact, it is a major requirement that for any bakery to be a member of the Premium Bread Makers Association of Nigeria, one, you must be 100% compliant with NAFDAC regulations, which means that you must be registered with NAFDAC and its affiliate bodies. And so for us, we take it a step further from there by ensuring that we also organize seminars, we organize training for our members on best practices. And part of the best practices is to ensure that members, are well regulated in the area of GHP, in the area of hygiene, in the area of safety and whatnot.
NAFDAC also uses engagement programs like this to interface with producers of regulated products, to listen to their challenges and together fashion out ways to mitigate or eradicate them.
This is a platform through which we are going to, resolve a lot of issues that currently plague the subsector. We are not oblivious of some of the challenges that they face presently. We know that owing to the current global situation, occasioned first of all by the supply chain disruptions that came on with the COVID-19 pandemic. On top of that, we have the supply chain disruptions that have been brought up on the world by the Russia-Ukraine situation, and of course the high cost of energy. And so we do know that these are situations that have affected their operations. And so we are mindful of that. And so we want to hear from them how these have affected their businesses.
That's our package for today. Please join us, same time, same station, next week for a fresh edition. In the meantime, if you have comments, complaints, or you want to report activities of fake drugs or adulterated food product peddlers, our doors are always open. You can reach NAFDAC via toll-free numbers. For inquiries, call 0700 162 3322. For complaints, call 0800 162 3322. You may also email NAFDAC at nafdac.gov.ng. If you have complaints about any form of misconduct, you can reach the Reforms Unit via email reforms@nafdac.gov.ng or call the Reforms hotlines on 0909 763 0506 or 0909 763 0507. NAFDAC, customer focused, agency minded. Importing, producing, distributing, and selling fake drugs and cosmetics, adulterated food, and so on are criminal activities that destroy lives. Join the fight against these heinous crimes by reporting any suspicious activity in your area to NAFDAC. Let's join hands to safeguard the health of our nation. Until next week, stay safe.